being with the uncertainty of our times. There are so many things to get upset, distraught, scared, and angry about these days. What do we do with that? A slow, syrupy mood comes over me this morning. I'm not sure where it came from, but it's distinct from the out-of-control mood that has been hovering. I wish I could control my mood more. I wish I could control what other people are saying, their moods, and how they're saying it. What can I actually control? My food? Take a little time off eating? Some call that intermittent fasting. Some call that a diet. Some call it an eating disorder. I don't know. I just don't want to feel so helpless, outraged, and so scared. How do we control? How much control do we have in our lives? Reflective meditation is a receptive practice where we learn how to let things go on, be with whatever comes up, loosen up the delusion that we have control. Learning to be with, be in, embody our experience is an anchor for being more aware of what we can control. Definition of control: the power to influence or direct our own or other people's behavior or the course of events. To be in charge. We taught an in-person retreat recently. We used to teach lots of in-person retreats. Then the pandemic hit. This retreat that we taught was the first in-person retreat for about 4 or 5 years. We found a wonderful retreat center which was created for Tibetan Buddhist 3-year retreats. Their retreats are a long game. Reflective meditation is also a long game, but not with long retreats. This retreat center in Goldendale, Washington, Ser Cho Asal Ling, shortened luckily for us to SCOL, had everything we needed, including a wonderful immersion in a place that had been devoted to spiritual practice, devoted to care for the land and care for the animals that lived amongst the retreatants. And during the retreat, the Tibetan Buddhist retreat manager called me aside and said, "I need to talk to you after the retreat. You have something we need." That comment was so scintillating that I couldn't leave it at that. "Could you say a bit more?" She replied, "Do you teach movement? Because there's a way you and your retreatants move." "No, we don't teach movement. Though for the first time, one of the first times, we had a walking period, a period of moving and walking meditation with an instruction that we simply be aware of our internal experience and what we're perceiving in the external world and how they interplay." After the retreat, we spoke with the retreat managers at length. She summed up what she perceived. "You are Be-ers, not Be-ers, Be-ers." We put the hyphen there. "We are Do-ers. We do our chores so we can get back to our practice. It seems like your group was just being with the chores." And we felt she was onto something, that she correctly and experientially got a window into our practice and perceived the direction and developments that come from our practice. We learn how to be with what is and respond as effectively as we can. And it's a long game, our long game. By the way, this is also the name of the movie that Paco Farias, he's a friend of mine who's been writing a screenplays for 30 years plus. And the first one just got made into a movie called The Long Game. And it's about a group of young Latino men playing golf in Texas in the 1950s. And their reactions to being told they weren't good enough to play the country club course because of their heritage. There are so many ways they handled it in the movie, so many different responses that they brought out. It was really beautiful. Raging with a golf club at times, tucking in their shirts so they could look more civilized, saying, "Thank you, sir," ignoring the insults, climbing up the water tower with their girlfriends to see the stars, playing with their brothers and sisters. And in that movie, the realization that all of it counts. So how do we translate being with the challenging things going on politically, climatically, economically, racially? There are many ways to be with these polycrises. But there's no simple answer here, though it helps to know it's a long game, to remind myself of this over and over again. It helps to talk about it, but not too much. It helps to read about it, but not too much. It helps to discern what I can do while realizing that what I do only has a tiny impact. Tiny, but maybe not even that. It helps to do things that seem to be an antidote for the angst. For us, it's creative expression, like writing this article together. And for us, it is being reflective. It helps to remember there's so much more going on in the world, the internal world, the external world, around us and in us. We got to one other place and ended with this, is that actually there are many times we don't know what to do. Maybe all the time. There's a little bit of we don't know what to do. So much is uncertain and out of our control. And this basic Buddhist teaching is there, right in our face now.